email to ag.minister@gov.bc.ca. That email address is ag.minister@gov.bc.ca. We will endeavor to respond to your call and concerns as soon as possible. Please be advised and note that telephone messages containing profanity and abusive language will not be returned. Effective November 26, 2020, the responsibility for ICBC has been assigned to the Minister of Public Safety and Solicitor General. The contact phone number for Minister Farnworth is 250-356-2178 in Victoria. That number again is 250-356-2178 in Victoria. Thanks again for taking the time to call. After the tone, please record your message. When you finish recording, hang up or press the pound key for more options.
This is Victorian Evans calling once again. I am not receiving satisfactory services from this office or any public servant in this office, and I need to inquire as to why you are continuing to discriminate and show acts of hatred towards me by refusing to serve me. Now, I've attended my stolen property at 604 Palianthus Crescent in Victoria, BC, to find out that there's still trespassers unlawfully occupying my stolen house, and they need to be removed immediately. I have housing costs that I can't afford on the 11th of March, and those housing costs, those housing expenses are the responsibility of those pretending to be the province of British Columbia. Now, last night I've applied to Service BC for an emergency rental subsidy of $750 to cover the housing costs that aren't even mine, and they haven't been mine since I was violently forcefully evicted from my stolen property March 19th, 2020 by those posing as the BC Attorney Generals. Now, you have no idea, clearly, as you're all ignorant of the law and of your legal responsibilities, of the crimes you've committed against me by stealing my house and then embezzling $700,000 from 3 beneficiaries, which you have no right to do, and I don't give a flying fig if you pretend to be the Provincial Court of British Columbia, which is actually a criminal organization. Now I've just found out from doing more research last night that the City of Terrace has confirmed what I know to be true about BC prosecution services. It's a joke. It's a joke. And why are the Victoria Police Department and Saanich Police Departments refusing to attend my stolen private interest property to remove and charge with criminal offenses the squatters who have no right to continue to contaminate with their ugliness my property? Now, I have the right in Canada to privately prosecute every single criminal, including the head criminal, David Horgan, and the head criminal of BC Justice Services, David Eby, both of whom refuse to serve me because of their racism and hatred for real women in the province. Now, this province has forced me into prostitution on purpose to end my life. That's called genocide. It's called genocide. Yeah, that's right. So why is it that not one of you in this office is capable of having an intelligent conversation with me about what you're putting me through? You listening to this message, you're getting a paycheck every 2 weeks whether you do your job or not. You listening to this message have the ability to e-transfer me financial support from your own financial resources. You can e-transfer me those resources that I must be provided for. My basic needs must be provided for by this criminal organization acting as the province of British Columbia. That's the law. Do you not understand the law? Because I do understand the law, and I do understand justice. Unlike the mad, blind, and confused male and female monkeys, the humans legally defined as monsters, who are refusing to serve me because of your hatred for me and my race, and the native language we speak. This is going to be a problem. It's continuing to be a problem. Your refusal to serve me is an act of genocide. Your refusal to be able to formulate an intelligent sentence and call me back and serve me properly is an act of genocide. So what are we going to do about all of this? Because I do actually have the right to place under citizen's arrest the trespassers on my stolen private interest property. I have that right. I do have that right. Unfortunately, I'm small in stature, so that'll put my life in harm's way. Yet I'm being repeatedly violently assaulted and attacked by those who pretend to be law enforcement. So I have every right to sue in their personal capacity every member of the Victoria Police Department and every member of the Satanic Police Department who since November the 27th, 2021 have refused not only to serve me, but to charge and arrest the trespassers utilizing my stolen property. Also, Benjamin Howe and Senator Dennis of Victoria, BC are also both indictable crime-committing criminals. They're in possession of property obtained by crime. And it doesn't matter how the property was obtained by crime. The property was obtained by the commission of crime at the hands of those posing as the BC Provincial Court, CIBC, and a myriad of BC bar members. You're not above the law. You're not going to get away with acts of genocide against myself and my son, and now against myself and my spouse, because of your hatred for the living. And that's exactly what's going on. I have eyes that see and ears that hear. I know exactly who you all are and exactly what you all are and why you refuse to provide for me with my basic needs. So if there's no money coming in for me by Friday at 11 o'clock, I guess I'll be breaking into my own house, which I have to do because I have the right to housing. I have the right to security, and those rights were stolen from me by criminals acting as the BC Provincial Court, criminals acting as CIBC, criminals acting as BC Attorney Generals, and the criminal acting as the BC Premier. Right. So the truth is that you're all useless. You're all cursed. You all have no hope and no future because you are refusing to serve me with my basic housing needs, my basic living needs. That's a crime. Why does a government who's hoarding billions of dollars, why does a criminal cartel hoarding billions of dollars need to steal my $700,000 from the fraudulent foreclosure? And I know you're not even recording this call because at this point there's usually some kind of sick message coming in that if I want to continue the call, know to do so. So this is again, so when you continue to stonewall me, that's an act of genocide. That's what that is, right? So go look in the mirror because you are going to hell. You are going to hell. David E.B., John Horgan, Lana Popham, Fred Hayes, all the Victoria and Saanich criminals acting as police. You're all going to hell. Your hatred for me is so intense, it's actually become funny. It's funny. Because I've corrected my status, right? Haven't I? And society as a whole has a responsibility to make sure my basic needs are met. I'm fully aware of how much money the criminals acting as BC Provincial Court are making, and I'm also fully aware of how much money every year the criminals acting as BC Attorney Generals are making, and it is disgusting. Disgusting. So I'm counselor for the king. Do you understand that? Do you understand what that means? That means when you attack me and my family, you would join yourself to the pains and penalties prescribed in law of tooth for tooth, eye for eye, stroke for stroke. So whatever you did to me and my son will be done to you and yours. Whatever you did to me and my spouse shall be done to you and yours. That's a court order, and I'm responsible for following court orders. Why haven't you called the RCMP in Kamloops and charged the Coven, acting as Fulton Company, with the acts of genocide they've committed against me by stealing my private interest property? Are you completely incapable? No, actually, you're trained in ugly and evil, so it's not possible for you to do what's right and good, because you don't understand what to do as it pertains to right and good. That's why you've been hired by the criminal cult acting as the province of British Columbia. And you're listening to this, aren't you? Well, I'm going to post it on social media because you need to be exposed for the coven of criminals you actually are.